Good afternoon, everyone. Edward Leos here, publisher of the Hotel Guide and the host of Travel Talk. Man, I'm really excited about today's episode. A good friend of mine, we actually connected on social media, have had a couple of meetings, and man, we just aligned. I just thought it was just fantastic. And I was like, you know what? I got to get this guy on my podcast because he's just got a wealth of experience in the luxury travel side of things, but just in hospitality in general. Rocco, I want to welcome you to this show. How are you doing?
Eduardo, I'm honored to be in your show. Thank you for your friendship and for your invitation as well. I'm delighted to be here, and hopefully we're going to enjoy a nice talk and entertain your audience as well.
Hey, well, that's the goal. Do a little bit of education, a little bit of entertainment, and just have a good time. Again, it's why we call it Travel Talk. So, Rocco, for all of our guests out there, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, maybe how you got to where you are, and then we'll kind of dabble into some of the other subjects that we were chatting offline about.
Sure. Well, my name is Rocco. I'm from Italy originally. I'm 53. Actually, I turned 53 just 2 months ago. Very happy man. I think I have achieved probably most than what I expected. And I'm an hotelier. I think I was born an hotelier. I started my career at the age of 13. And my dream was to travel the world. And guess what I did? Maybe not the entire world, but I traveled and lived and worked in 11 different countries.
Wow.
Including from Europe, Middle East, Asia, the Indian Ocean, and the Caribbean, and now I'm in Mexico since the past 7 years, where I'm very happy, and it's a beautiful country with beautiful people. And my purpose is now to promote Mexico as a destination, of course, because that's where I work. And I'm also working as a consultant since the past 2 years. So I help small investors to develop their hotels or their tourism company so that they can make the most of it.
Nice. So you're in Mexico. Where in Mexico are you right now?
Well, people told me that it is the best city in Mexico, and actually, I think it is. It's called Merida. It's in Yucatan. It's in the peninsula of Yucatan, but the state of Yucatan. So
Yep.
Merida is the capital of Yucatan.
What do you love most about that city?
Well, listen, there are so many things. The people first. People are so nice here in Mexico in general. The Yucatecos. This is how they call the people from Yucatan. They are lovely people. I think they have maybe this Maya influence, from this pre-Hispanic culture, made them even more friendly. I don't know. I don't have the right word to actually define them, but they are super nice people. So I'm very happy here.
Oh, nice. So let's touch a little bit about you working in the luxury travel space. I know you've ran some properties, you've won some awards. I think you didn't mention the awards side of things, but I know those because we've chatted offline about it. But you've done some great things when it comes to the luxury travel in reference to hotels. What are some things that, as travelers are kind of going around and you're talking about luxury travel, what are some things that they should be looking out for, or what separates a luxury brand from another brand?
Well, I was privileged to work for some of the best brands, Four Seasons, Regis, Ritz-Carlton, Aman Resort, not the least, and maybe even less known brand, but yet in the luxury space, like Lux Hotels and Resorts from Mauritius, or the Chablais Hotel in Yucatan, which to me was, the cherry on the cake for me. And when you talk about award, actually, with Chablais, we won during my time 41 award, an average of almost one award every month. It was just crazy. It was unbelievable. I think I was the luckiest person in this planet because I had a great team, great owners, and everything fall into place perfectly. So then, of course, luxury started many years ago. This is nothing new. Five-star hotels have been there forever. I don't think I'm going to reinvent, the five-star hotel or the only experience into a five-star hotel. But what it is changing, but in the past 5 to 10 years or less than 10 years, are starting to come a different kind of experiential travel. And I remember, for example, during my time in Lux Hotels, we launched Lux Hotel with 100 reasons to go. So
Wow.
part of the values of the company or the brand were why should I go to Lux Hotels in Mauritius and not to the one and only in Mauritius? Because they were also one and only.
Yep.
It still is there, by the way. And of course we have to come up with 100 reasons at least for a traveler to choose our brand.
Wow.
100. You can imagine that you not even a lifetime will be enough to travel 100 times to a
Correct.
place. And this is what has been evolving over the past few years, even more experiential. So why would I go to a place? I just finished now an introduction, for example, to an audience of travel agents, and I told them that our purpose as a travel operator is to promote the destination, but also to promote the reason why, not just to come here, take a picture, and go back home and say, "Oh, I've been to the pyramids of Chichen Itza." You know that most people actually coming to Mexico, they think that Chichen Itza is actually in Quintana Roo. So Chichen Itza is in Yucatan. It's not in
Yeah.
Quintana. But
Yeah.
because the majority of tourists they travel from Cancun, obviously they think it's actually in the state of Quintana Roo. I mean, as simple as this, we need to educate our tourists or travelers.
Yep. And that's one of the biggest things when you're talking about, like the hotel guide and what you've done. So you got me as a publisher on one side, and you have you as a hotelier on another side, but also the promotion of a destination. And I think experiential travel is just really going next level now. And it's really, you have to do something so unique that it drives people to want to go there. And it just sounds like you were ahead of the game when it came to it, because all the awards, which is fantastic, but just being different in the travel space has got to be uh, a lot of people's focus nowadays. Do you agree with that?
We are in the people industry. Definitely, we need to understand. We need to understand a number of people. There is a fan. Like a 380-degree people. You have the people, your team members. You have to influence them. You have to make them in love with the brand. And
Yep.
you have your guests, your buyers. You need to make sure that you deliver the brand to them. You have your suppliers. Your suppliers also they need to be aligned with you. You cannot buy from a supplier that is not aligned with your own brand just because the price is better.
Yep.
And last but not the least, you also need to ensure that the people that invest in your business, so shareholders or owners, are also aligned with the brand, but also you align with their expectation. Because at the end of the day, business is a business. Everybody wants to make their profit, and we need to appreciate that because who work very hard to earn their money. When they invest their money, they want to make sure that they get something back. So yes, you have this plethora of people that you have to comply with.
So, as a GM of a property, how do you get the buy-in from your team to not only see the vision but excel in the vision? And hence the awards, like you said, you're winning one almost every month. But how do you do that as a leader to be able to make that happen?
The old rule of lead by walking around.
Yep.
That's 100 years old rule. I did not invent it, but I remember some people many years ago were telling me, Rocco, you need to walk the talk. You cannot just say what to do and then be in your office. You need to be there with your team. You need to invest time. And actually, this also a few words I want to say to the younger generation.
Hmm.
And I do this very often also when I coach young people or aspiring hoteliers. I always tell them that I didn't become who I am today working 2 hours a day.
Yep.
This kind of things, unless you're a genius, okay, if you're a genius, then be my guest. I'm not a genius. So the 0.001% of the world population that can be a genius, they're most welcome to do what I'm doing. But the majority of people, because at the end of the day, not everybody is a genius. The
Yep.
majority of people, they need to work their way up, and this requires time. when you interact with people, the one thing that really takes most time is actually learning about the behavior of a person, whether it's the investor, the supplier, the staff, or the guest.
Hmm.
You see, so these four people come back again. But you need to understand their behavior. And in order to analyze and understand the behavior, it takes time.
Yep.
You cannot buy this time. You cannot just Google it, unfortunately.
Yep. Yeah, I think nowadays people are that instant gratification, and same thing as a coach on my end too. It's, when you're teaching people those principles, it's like you've got to look at that. You got to invest the amount of time. I love what you're talking about, walking the walk, and literally walking the property, but also being seen. I think, when you're in the ivory tower, it's a lot of leaders look at that and like to stay there, but you got to be on, boots on the ground with your team, and that there's a difference that comes out with it. So I appreciate you saying that as well. But let's shift a little bit as we're getting close to winding up here. But I want to talk about some of your travel stuff. What are a couple of your favorite travel destinations that you've been to?
Well, I traveled quite extensively in my life because that was my dream, and work gave me this opportunity. So naturally, I was traveling while I was working, and I was having fun,
Sure.
and I also made a career out of it. So I think this is the dream job. Everybody wants to have. There are a few places on earth that I still would love to go. For example, Iceland is a place I would like to go
Okay.
one day. Um, Although it's very close to where I come from. I'm from Italy, but I've never been to Spain. I'd love to go to Spain once. Greece.
Wow.
These are the places that probably are more on my bucket list.
Your bucket list. Those are on my bucket list too. Spain is
Okay,
for
let's
sure.
go together.
Well, Spain, Greece, and I need to get to Italy. My roots go back to Spain and Italy, and so yeah, I definitely need to make there. We need to create a retreat and do a leadership retreat.
I
Uh,
love that. Let's do it.
and do that. That would be fantastic. We're going off topic here. We're thinking of business ideas on Travel Talk, but you know what? When you put people together, this is what I love about my Travel Talk conversations is they go in so many different directions. We have an idea what we want to talk about, but I think what happens when you get through the essence of this, when you get hoteliers, when you get people in the hospitality industry together, you really get the genesis of people. You get the genesis of thoughts and the creativity that comes with it. Because it's just, yeah, it's a business 100%, but it all comes down to people. And if you don't do it right, if you don't know the people, you don't value the people, all of a sudden the infrastructure changes. And you've seen this across the the planes with regards to hotels, whether it's a luxury brand or a limited service property. If the leadership is south, the rest of the team goes south too, and you just can't get beyond whatever the leader is.
You see, Edward, um, a lot of people they ask me for in some places really I made my mark stronger than other places. And people ask me, what is your secret role? I tell them, I have no secret. You need to be a dedicated person for the people that work for you.
Yep.
Because at the end of the day, if we don't provide the time to the people that deliver the work for us as a leader, they don't care. They don't
Yep.
care. I have seen companies, I mean, business units transforming when the leadership transformed.
Hmm.
So definitely, we have a responsibility as a leader, and we need to keep that responsibility and that promise alive to the people that surround us and help us become who we are. Because at the end of the day, we can say, I'm an award-winning general manager, but I would be nobody if I wouldn't have my team behind.
Yep.
Nobody.
Yep. And I appreciate you bringing that up because those are important thoughts right there. So as we're wrapping up, what is the best way if people want to find you, connect with you, uh, and just want to get to know more about you? What's the best way to find you?
Listen, I'm only doing LinkedIn. LinkedIn is the best platform where people can follow me. I unfortunately I cannot accept any more invitation
Dang.
because I reached the limit. LinkedIn put a limit to it. So sadly, I need to do some housekeeping because there are some users which are not
Yep.
really alive. They don't interact. So probably I need to eliminate something, but this will take me some time. But you can definitely follow me. You can actually direct message me because I made my profile open to have a direct message. So if people want to send me a message, they're most welcome, and I answer to everybody. I'm not the kind of person that I ghost people.
Yeah.
I'm not a ghoster. Okay.
No, and I can attest to that because that's actually how we connected. And, we started a dialogue rather quickly, and probably in the span of not even a month, it seems like
Exactly.
we had a
We know
meeting. Now
we
we're
know
on
forever.
now we're on a podcast. We feel like we're brothers from in the
and so
industry and stuff.
and so we're gonna do a retreat. But don't forget
Yeah,
that.
we're talking about our leadership retreat for hospitality. Yeah, no, I'm completely down with that, and I'm glad this is recorded and is going to be seen because it just gives me further reason to really talk about doing that because I've been talking about it anyway. Maybe this is that little sprinkle that needs to happen in aligning with the right people. So, Rocco, I want to thank you for being on the show today. It was an absolute pleasure getting to hear some of your insights to being a great leader in the hospitality industry. I love that you are so humble in all that you're doing, but it shows in everything that you have been doing. So, again, I want to thank you for being on the show today. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you on.
Pleasure's been mine. Thank you so
Perfect.
much.
For everybody who's out there, please like it. Please share this. You can see this at thehotelguide.com. And then, just like I said, travel, make some memories, continue to follow us, and we'll keep getting you value. Until then, everybody have a fantastic day. Take care.